Hi, I'm Beth Pipe, and welcome to How to Excel as a Secretary/Administrator. This is Module 1, What Does Good Look Like? It's part of a 4-module suite, and we're going to cover a range of topics in those 4 short, sharp modules. So because they're short and sharp, let's get stuck straight in. So what we're going to cover, we will cover understanding what makes a professional services firm tick. So just a quick bit of background to that. We're going to think about how your role adds value. We're going to think about what great questions you could ask, and we're going to talk about how to beat imposter syndrome, actually what it is and how you can manage it. So, what are the personal or professional qualities that any secretary or administrator needs? Now, let me give you a bit of background. For me, I started off as a secretary administrator in professional services organizations. I've worked with law firms for many, many years. I've never been a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. So I've always worked in the support/admin department. So the key skills that we need to be obviously good communicators. We need to be able to talk and communicate with those external, the clients, as well as internally. We need to be able to be organized. I think that kind of goes without saying. We need to be independent. So we need to start thinking for ourselves and not asking people questions all the time. Although it is great to ask questions, and we're going to cover good questions to ask. We also need to know, when we can start to think for ourselves and make great decisions. Forward thinking, we're going to cover that more in a later module as well. Discretion is crucial to this role. You will see, I sometimes describe myself as Switzerland in that I'm neutral. I see and hear a lot of things, but I remain neutral for the role that I perform. You're going to need a great eye for detail, both when you're putting things together, when you're proofing, when you're sending them out. There's a lot of, as they say, the devil is in the detail. Just making sure those details are correct. Diplomatic. So we need to be able to be diplomatic. So it's about saying the right things to the right people and recognizing, having that intuitive sense of when to speak and the right things to say rather than blazing straight in. We need to be good at juggling, not literally physically juggling, but actually being able to juggle different tasks for different people, different priorities, sometimes, let's be honest, different egos. And how do we manage to do all of that? So there are a lot of personal and professional qualities. And one thing that I always say to admin teams is just imagine if you all went on holiday at the same time for 2 weeks. You don't have to go to the same place, but imagine if you were all out of the office for 2 weeks. Imagine what would happen to the office. Now, many firms absolutely value their admin teams. Other organizations sometimes take them for granted a little bit. But even if you're in an organization that you feel doesn't necessarily value your role, just imagine that scenario. You are like the oil in the engine that makes the organization tick along swimmingly. So lots of skills that you add. Things that you can do to get to grips with the business. Learn the business story. Find out about why it exists, who it serves, how it makes money, what success looks like, what's important there. So you need to get to grips with that. Understand the strategy. It's really, sometimes you think, well, I'm just admin. But no, actually, as we'll see through this session, you will contribute to that. So what are the key priorities? What are the current challenges? What's changing in the next 12 to 24 months? You'll find most of this information for most organizations is sitting on the intranet. So just take some time, go have a look, find out.